I have a fan question sent in here, and this is a little different because it's sent in from someone you actually know. So this is kind of
Okay.
funny. So a fan question, but it's from Rich Meisner, who's
Oh my
been
God.
with Our Lady Peace for 15 years, working on the band's videos, artwork, and merchandise. So this is what Rich sent in. So it's not really a question, it's more of a comment. But Rich says, just ask him about Jim Gordon. That should take care of the entire 2 hour interview.
Yeah, there you go. So
So
he knows that Jim Gordon's an American session drummer, and I love him. And he's played on everything to the point where it's like I listen to music all the time, generally in my house or hanging out. So, and I like to listen to contemporary music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, mostly, generally, just because it's a good vibe. And usually the heavy studio guys, like your yacht rockers and shit like that, like I can deal with that live off the floor 1977 room. So Jim Gordon is on like 30% of all those songs. So Rich at the time was just hanging out with me a lot and like, hey, did you know Jim Gordon's on? Hey, Jim Gordon's on. Hey, that's Jim Gordon. So yeah, he was sick and tired of Jim Gordon. But yeah, Jim Gordon's a great drummer.
so
Crazy story.
yeah, he's a great drummer, but there's also a dark ending to this story,
Well,
right?
he's suffered from schizophrenia and didn't take the proper medications, literally hearing voices. And a lot of the times with schizophrenic behavior, for some reason, the concern and the voices that they hear always goes back to their mother. I don't know why it's such a common thing, but he went and heard voices and he killed his mother. And now he's in prison for the rest of his life. But this happened in the early 80s or something like that. But really kind of sidelined his whole thing because he was this storied, legendary American session musician that ended up incarcerated for the rest of his life because he was, obviously not medicated and not diagnosed properly. Another example of mental health, kind of going the wrong way.
Yeah, unfortunately back then things weren't diagnosed properly and they weren't medicated properly. And maybe if you know if he had that today's day, things maybe might have turned out differently. So it's sad that that ended up happening.